So this might be the most important video that I've made so far, or maybe the most important video I'll ever make. This topic has a lot to do with secret societies. You can find this concept in the literature of different like occult beliefs and stuff like that. A lot of people refer to it as revelation of method. So what revelation of method means, it means revealing basically what you did. So telling someone what you did. So you see this a lot with like when, say, the government does something. You can probably think of a lot of cases. I gotta be careful what I see on YouTube. But like when the government does something to us, and then later they kind of tell us what they did, and then the people that were called conspiracy theorists are like, oh, see, I was right, blah, blah, blah. And it's a really weird phenomenon. Like if you don't read the occult literature, like it kind of doesn't make sense. It's like, why even tell us? It's almost like they're just messing with us. But what people don't realize is like they don't just tell you after. They actually kind of tell you before and during. Like they tell you exactly what they're doing. And Alex Jones, whatever you may think of him, a lot of the stuff he says is actually legit. But he talks about how he believes that the story of Dracula and vampires, like from back in the day, is like a metaphor for this, like an allegory, because in those stories, the vampire will come and knock on your door, kind of tell you in a weird, creepy way that he's going to come visit you tonight. Like he basically tells you what's up. He doesn't just come like with the element of surprise and sneak attack you. And where I'm going with this is there's a concept. It's really more of a spiritual concept, and even if you don't even believe in the spiritual reality of these things, people are driving crazy out here. If you don't believe in the spiritual reality of these things, just know that the people at the top of the world that run things and that have a lot of power do believe these things. So even if like you're atheist and you don't believe it's real, they believe it. And they believe that if they tell us what they're doing, that it absolves them of karma. And what I'm getting at here is they believe and they behave as if they need your consent. And I don't really want to make this video about like a large scale like government versus population kind of thing. I actually want to make this more small because it applies to our daily lives. If you ever had someone in your life that betrayed you or turned out to be a snake, you probably had some kind of gut feeling in the beginning, and like you didn't listen to your gut, and you kind of ended up realizing like, oh, my gut was right all along. And not that like you should beat yourself up about it. You still have every right to feel betrayed, but there is that element that like on some level you knew, right? And the reason for that is because people need your consent. For a reality to even manifest, like for your reality to become a certain way, you have to give consent. This is why in those same books from like the occult literature and like the same kind of beliefs, they also believe that thought is creation. And anyone that's done like psychedelics, or even if you never tried that, even if you mess with like lucid dreaming, you probably know about thought creates reality, right? And not to make this video like a law of attraction video, but that's kind of what I'm talking about here. And I just want you guys to know that whether it's something that a person in your social circle or that you work with or whatever is trying to impose on your reality, or something that the government is trying to impose on your reality, they need your consent. You have to participate. And if you don't, then it won't happen. You can just kind of ignore it. For example, like we know the government wants war. I don't know if that's even like debatable. Like they want war. Why are we not already in a hot kinetic war? We know that they want more control. Why do we still have any freedom at all? I think we need to start realizing that we have way more of a say in this stuff than we think we do. And that the outcome is a lot more in our hands than we think it is. And what the culture focuses on is so important. Like, there were times that cultures were focused on a renaissance in art and, you know, a revolution in creativity. And when you look at those cultures, the architecture reflects that. Everything about it reflects that. Look up, I saw this on Instagram. Look up the difference between cars from the 80s and cars now. The colors. A lot of the cars now are silver, gray, black, white. My car's silver. And when you look up cars from the 80s, a lot of them were like neon, beautiful, you know, baby blue and crimson red. And we've kind of had this bland thing going on now for a while. And even when you look at like movies, like, we're just kind of recycling, we're making remakes of old movies, like, we're not coming up with new movies. And I think it's honestly because, like, they've gotten us to focus on what they want us to focus on. Like, we're all arguing over politics. And I don't think that you should be completely uninvolved. I think we should be involved in politics, but local and state. Like, your sheriff, your mayor, remember during COVID, how much say your governor had? Like, during COVID, we all realized that governors can decide a lot. And anyway, what I'm getting at is we've been focused on the wrong stuff for a long time now. And if we can just shift our focus and turn this, like, whatever you want to call this moment in time, this great awakening or whatever this is, we could actually turn this into something where we shift our focus to art again and we start making good stuff, and we have another golden age with, like, good movies and good music. You decide what reality you want to participate in. And in a previous video, like 2 or 3 videos ago, I referenced Archaics. That YouTube channel, Jason of Archaics, he has a slogan. He says, fear makes you a participant. And that would make me think a lot, like, when they put out a narrative and we start, like, crapping our pants over it. I mean, we could be putting all that energy into making our life what we want it to be. What happened to that? What happened to, I want to make my life what I want it to be? Why does it have to be, I have to react to what the government's doing and fight against them? I don't want to fight against what I want my life to not be. I want to create my life what I want it to be. I want to focus on the things in my control. You know? I don't want to argue over politics. So the gist of this video, I just want to say, they need your consent on large scale, on small scale, in your personal life, anything. They need your consent to bring anything into your reality. It won't even be in your reality if you don't agree to it. So if you don't like it, then just don't agree to it. And also, don't spend a bunch of time fighting it. When I've had people in my life, even recently, that I knew kind of had it out for me, I didn't argue with them. I didn't try to tell them, hey, I noticed that you did this, or hey, I noticed that you didn't hold up your end of the deal. It was just every time that they, you know, owed me money and didn't pay me, or, you know, whatever the case, I just noticed and I just kind of would disappear. You don't have to argue, you don't have to do any of that stuff, because I don't want my reality to be one where I argue with people. I want my reality to be one where I create the life that I want. And I'm never going to consent to or agree to bringing that into my life, because why would I? I'm not a teenager anymore. And if you're watching this and you are a teenager, then get ahead of the game. If you start this now, if I implemented all these things when I was in high school, my life would be so different right now. And one more thing I want to add. In 2020, like a lot of people, I kind of had this feeling that, like, maybe the world was going to end, because we had COVID, and then over the summer we had, like, the BLM riots, and there was a lot of civil unrest, and then there was, like, all kinds of stuff with the election at the end of the year. And in 2020, man, it really did seem like something was about to go down, and a lot of things did go down. I'm not acting like nothing happened, but everything I'm doing right now, so like if you look at my channel and you see my fights and my like the matches I've had so far or whatever, like it might seem like I just started, which like I did, like I just started fighting recently, but I started getting in shape and having the vision for it in like 2020, really in like 2019, and I just wasn't in the position to be able to like pay for a lot of training and stuff, but I was doing what I could, and I was really focused on getting to where I am now. Like everything I'm doing right now, I was thinking about in 2020. And if I had just kind of laid down and thought, oh, well, the world's ending, so, you know, why, like, what's the point? Then my life would be like the exact same right now, if not worse than it was in 2020. And none of this would be happening. And I still would have 0 fights on my record. Just food for thought. So if you're starting your journey now, or if you're already deep into it, it doesn't matter. Look, right now it might look like, oh, World War III is about to happen. Oh, this, oh, that. They're just trying to scare the crap out of you, just like they were in 2020. And this whole time, guys, I've been focused on myself. I didn't stop because, oh, COVID, or oh, I never stopped. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't either. The world will still be here in 2028. They're not going to wipe us off the map. If that was possible, it would have already happened. If they didn't need our consent, we wouldn't be, you wouldn't be watching this YouTube video right now. And I wouldn't be talking right now. I truly believe that. I think if they didn't need our consent, it'd already be over. So don't be thinking that the world's about to end, so there's no reason to pursue your goals. And even if the world is about to end, like, does that mean that you don't need to live your life? If I'm in a fight and I know I'm down on the scorecards and it's the final round, does that mean I just like stand there with my hands up and just let my opponent take the last round because, well, it's about to end anyway, I don't have that much time to work anyway? No, actually it's the opposite. If I'm down on the scorecards, if I'm down on points and it's the final round, it's even more reason to try to knock them the fuck out. That's even more fucking reason. So if the world is about to end, that's even more reason to try to fight the forces of evil and to put good energy out there and to be there for the people that you know and to focus on what you can control to make the world a better place than you left it and to create the reality that you want. That's even more reason, because that means you don't have a lot of time. So maybe I'm wrong and they don't need our consent and we are going to get nuked soon or something. Even more reason to live it up. Not live it up like drink a bunch of booze and be a degenerate. Live it up like do something that your family will be proud of. If you don't have a family, somebody will be proud of you. Your ancestors, God, someone's watching you. So if the world is about to end, that's even more reason. Alright, that's all I got. Peace.